This is a question about dieting. Hi, Mel. For my entire life, I've been overweight. Now I'm trying to diet for the first time in my life. Wow. That takes courage. Right there. That you've been overweight your entire life and you're taking this on. So first things first, you need to know that we're all very proud of you. So you're writing and saying that you feel lost and trapped, but you're going to keep going, but you have this massive feeling of insecurity and vulnerability. Can you please explain why I feel this way? Sure. When you take on a massive change, whether it's trying to diet after a lifetime of being overweight, or maybe running your first race after a lifetime of never ever exercising, or maybe it's starting to date again after you lost your spouse to cancer, when you confront something that's going to require you to change your behavior, you basically come face to face with the gap between who you are right now and the future person you want to be. And sometimes when you see how big that gap is, it sucks. It's overwhelming. The amount of work that it's going to take to close that gap between where you're at and what you dream about suddenly feels insurmountable. The reason why you feel vulnerable and you feel insecure is because you're starting to focus too much on how much you're going to have to do, and that's overwhelming you. That's happened to me in my life. You know, what I come face to face with is this fear that I actually might suck, that I actually might not be able to do this. And when I start to convince myself that I'm not going to be able to close that gap between what I weigh now and what I really dream about looking and feeling like, then I start giving up. So you're gonna feel vulnerable. You're gonna feel insecure. And there are two things that I want you to do. I want you to narrow your focus down to the literally minute-to-minute decisions that you're making about your health. Don't think big picture. Get through today. Second thing I want you to do, I want you to use the 5-second rule. The way that you're going to use it is, if you have a diet, the diet is very straightforward. It's black and white. There's a list of things you're allowed to eat and a ton of things that you're not allowed to eat. So the diet itself is very straightforward and simple, but the reason why dieting isn't easy is because of how you feel about dieting. Dieting itself is simple. The reason why it's hard is because you listen to how you feel. I want you to go through an exercise where you write down all of the triggers that make you eat. Do you like to eat after you've had breakfast? Like you like a little snack on the way to work? Do you like to eat when you feel vulnerable? Do you like to eat at 5 o'clock in the afternoon? Do you like to eat when you feel bored? Do you like to eat when you're sitting in front of the TV? Do you like to eat after dinner? Do you sample everything off of your kids' plates if you've got kids? Like, identify all those areas where you fall into the trap of not following your diet. Now what I want you to do is to use a piece of research that has proven over and over and over again in an experiment after experiment after experiment that will make you 3 times more likely to stick to your diet. You ready? It's called if-then planning. So I had you make a list of all those places where you're probably gonna cheat, right? Where you start to feel a certain way, you feel defeated, you feel tired, you feel bored, you feel pissed off at your boss, you're not really thinking, so you're shoving food in your mouth. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that list of things that trigger you to cheat on your diet, and you're gonna use if-then planning. And how it works is this. You're gonna say, if I feel tired, then what are you gonna do? Because right now what you're doing is you're eating. If I feel tired, then I'm gonna stand up and go for a walk around the house. If I feel bored, then I'm going to stand up and walk into the kitchen and I'm gonna allow myself to surf online and check out Facebook for 5 minutes instead of eating. If I feel stressed out or I feel like I can't do it anymore, then I'm gonna call a friend. The reason why you want to do this is because, first of all, you've told the truth to yourself about all the ways that you cheat and all the things that trigger you to overeat and not stick to your diet. And secondly, you've stuck something in place that is your plan B so that you're not subject to your emotions in the moment. So, here we go. You're vulnerable because you're focused on the gap between where you are and the future you. So first things first, let's narrow the focus and let's focus day to day, moment to moment on what you're doing. Second, you're going to use the 5-second rule. The moment you feel yourself cheating on your diet or being drawn toward food you shouldn't be eating, count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That will quiet all of the garbage in your mind. It will awaken your prefrontal cortex, and it will point you toward your goal, which is sticking to that damn diet. And finally, I want you to do an assessment and identify all the ways in which and things that trigger you to overeat and cheat on your diet. And then I want you to come up with an if-then. If I feel this, if I see this, if I catch myself doing this, then I'm going to pick up the phone, or I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm going to surf Facebook. I'm going to do something other than cheat on my diet. Try those things. Let us know how it goes. And most of all, we want you to know we're really proud of you for taking it on, because it takes a lot of courage to face the things that aren't working in your life and to push yourself to change them.